MrBeast. He's known to gain his fame from spending money to help others. Why is that controversial? This guy, was known for randomly spending $500,000 to give out to people. He's planted like 20 million trees. He's run all these fundraisers to help humanity or people. I mean, did it always start out that way? I don't know. He started really young as like a 12 or 13-year-old, just playing video games, and he came up with all these crazy ideas on YouTube. So is he an angel? Does he have a huge heart? Or is it influence for sale? Like, is he doing all this just to make a profit? That's a controversy on him right now. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Here we go. Episode number 12, Facts of Life podcast, where the acronym LIFE stands for something different on each episode that we record. And today, we'll be talking about some interesting things. For L in life today, we're going to be talking about lured in. What does that mean, right? Well, I have kids. And I'm always wondering or worried, really concerned, worried about what are they watching? What are they scrolling on their phones at night, late night when I'm not watching? Who is influencing them? Who are they following? This is important because there's so much information online right now. I think it's really important to be able to cipher or distinguish, the goods and the bads. I particularly don't want them being lured into just BS that's not good for them. I think that's the same for all parents or all other people out there, period. For example, let's talk about Andrew Tate, his brother and things like that. But Andrew Tate has been controversial for quite some time now. He's a 38-year-old British guy who got famous in 2016. Right around there, he was a MMA kickboxer, and he got casted onto Big Brother, a reality TV show. However, that was really short-lived because, right off the bat, they kicked him off because they found footage of him beating a girl with a belt. I think his excuse was something like, oh, she wanted it. It was role-playing, but it was a beating, and that wasn't cool. So for that, he got kicked off the show. He started getting a lot of attention there. And then he started getting pretty famous. He had a ton of followers on Twitter, or X now. I think it was over like 10.3 million followers. And, his popularity was amongst young men, boys. I think the statistics said it started like around 7 years old, up to upwards of like 40s and 50s. But like more than 60% of his followers were all men. And why was that? I mean, he was... he's a fighter, very aggressive, and his main message was all about sexism, vulgar masculinity, and lavish wealth, like cars and boats and, just having money. I watched some stuff where he was claiming to be a billionaire, but we later found out that he was worth like around 30 billion because he owed the tax authorities a ton of money in taxes, allegedly. You're worth $30 million. Why all this heat? You got money, you're doing well, you got followers. Why do you have to take it to the next extent? I think he's got, 10 counts against him? That includes money laundering. The biggest one that's on the news now in Romania is the sex trafficking or the human trafficking, which is alleged because there's going to be a court case and everything. So I guess we'll find out, what's going to happen. But, my thing is, if you're making that much money, why not do good? Why are you out there causing a ruckus? Maybe he's just built that way, but I don't know. Is he doing that just to lure people in? Is it real? Is it fake? Is it things that content creators end up doing just to get a bigger following, just to get more fame? I don't know. But either way, the guy's in big trouble, and, it doesn't matter if it's fake or real. I would not want my kids following or watching Andrew Tate. He's bad news. Allegedly. Doesn't matter, but his messaging is wrong. So, I am not excited, but I'd like to see what happens and what the outcome of all his, these counts against him, what's going to happen. Only the court will be able to tell us what he really did or did not do. But that kind of leads us into the next part of my conversation of the show. The I in life is influence for sale, right? Like, what does that mean? Back in the days, an influencer would come online, when the whole social media or online influencing really happened, really with YouTube or whatnot, it was a sake for somebody to come up and speak their truth or give advice, or we're brand ambassadors trying to make money selling stuff. But I think there's a ton of competition now, just with so many people who can turn on a camera and start talking and start, filming or recording, that people are just going above and beyond right now. One of the people that I found really interesting was MrBeast, right? You probably have heard of him, know him, or follow him. So there's a lot of different opinions about him. And I guess right now, if you look him up, he's known to gain his fame from spending money to help others. Why is that controversial? Oh, let's dig in. I mean, this guy, was known for randomly spending $500,000 to give out to people. He's planted like 20 million trees. He's run all these fundraisers to help humanity or people. I mean, did it always start out that way? I don't know. He started really young as like a 12 or 13-year-old, just playing video games, and he came up with all these crazy ideas on YouTube. I think he did a 24-hour countdown of getting 100,000 followers with all the things that he was doing, on YouTube, and it worked. He gained a ton of followers, and now look how he's evolved, right? We were talking about doing good with your money, and, he's become really, really famous. So is he an angel? Does he have a huge heart? Or is it influence for sale? Like, is he doing all this just to make a profit? That's a controversy on him right now. Here's my take on it as a business person. I'm a mortgage lender. I sell homes as well, as you probably already know by now. But in my line of work, I know it's not the same. I'm not planting 20 million trees or whatnot. But I feel like I really am helping people. We get facts. We don't bullshit. We help. We advise. We consult. We even tell people when they shouldn't do something, even if that means us losing profit, right? Straight up. That's how we built our brand, and that's why it works, and we're doing well. But, in a case like this, I mean, if MrBeast is out there helping people, why are people talking shit? I mean, I really don't get it. I guess everybody always has something to say, whether it's good or bad. This guy is majorly out there helping people and raising money. And what's the worst that people could say? Oh, he's doing it for a profit. He's helping people, but he's making a profit. So are you evil because you want to make a profit from helping people? Why can't you do both? Why is that even controversial? Why is all the shit talking online about the guy? Why does that matter? I guess I make a profit helping people. I don't do it for free. That's how I make my living. And, as long as he's not out there human trafficking like Andrew Tate, or beating women, or spreading the message about sexism and vulgar masculinity, why does it matter? Leave him alone. Let him keep on doing what he's doing because it's working. So with that said, as far as influence for sale goes, if you're not hurting anybody and all you're doing is helping, who gives a shit? Let him do what he does. Leave him alone. That could lead us into the F of our LIFE acronym. And, it leads me to kind of just wonder, I mean, is it good? Is it bad? Or is it all based on fame addiction? That's our F for LIFE here. It's for fame addiction. Really got me thinking, watching, reading, researching after looking at all these players, right? So whether you're Andrew Tate, who's doing bad, allegedly, forget about the crimes that he's done. The messaging is bad, right? It's not positive. It's negative. It's full of hate. So he's getting his fame, from negative messaging and hate, right? And then you got MrBeast on the other hand, who's doing nothing but good for people. And the worst that you could say about him is that the guy's flipping a profit for helping others. But one commonality, whether it's really good or really bad, is you gotta kind of think everyone is doing, I mean, there's money, right? There's definitely money. I don't want to leave that out, and we'll get into that. But it's for the love of fame or the addiction of fame. Is it love? Is it addiction? I don't know. You'd have to be addicted to fame, which, like any addiction, drives you to change or do things you would not normally do, right? That's addiction. Makes me think this addiction, if done right, pays a ton of money, as you can see. Not for everybody, for the ones that actually hit it, or our biggest fame addicts, I guess, who are so addicted to it day and night. They're just doing everything they possibly can to become famous. makes me think. Like, I'm podcasting, I've got a family, I run a business. And again, it just makes me think about our own show and relevance of what we're doing. Am I doing this to help people? Am I doing this to hurt people? Am I doing this just to get rich? One thing that I do know is that I never want to change who I am. I hope that never happens. But going through these types of articles, research, learning, or whatnot makes me really think that fame is just not interesting to me. Helping people is, having good face, having a good reputation, and mostly when my kids are out here watching this stuff, helping me with my podcast, actually, I want to make sure it's solid. So, you never know what the future beholds, but again, just stating the obvious from where I'm at today, I'm just not interested in any of that. But then that leads us to the last part of our show, right? The E in life, ego economics. The other personality or behavior that I think you must have is a major ego to become famous, right? You got to have ego. Most famous people are not quiet and selfless and giving, right? I think that part of, like, just to wrap everything that we're talking about today, a lot of it's about ego, right? It's like you're doing you first, and maybe perhaps part of the ego is, can I make this happen? Can I do this? Will my idea work, right? And once it does, your ego boost will then start generating the economics part or the money. Like, one of the biggest things that I've read online just going through is the Kardashian sisters, right? So much shit talking about them. And it's interesting because it made me think, like, everyone's always talking about how the three Kardashian sisters are like rated with the most fake bots, fake followers, or invalid accounts. And that's boosting their followings so high. But that made me think, like, why is that even necessary? Like, you guys are so famous already. Is it ego? Like, are you just trying to pump up, the amount of followers that you have just for ego, for your own self-pride and standing? Well, it made me really curious. So I started digging in even more. And it's not what it always seems. Let's open this up a little bit. If you're a Kardashian and you're like, multi-millionaire and you've got an empire of businesses to run and you've got brands and companies and all these things, well, you have a team, right? You have your campaign, your ad team, you have your business managers. You have so many different groups and teams of people that on your behalf are making up these decisions for you, that it's not always you. Perhaps it's not always just ego, but what does it get when you have more followers? Well, it's interesting. It's the brands that you work with. It's the deals that you're trying to negotiate, right? They want you to have a X amount of followers or a minimum amount to get deals done, to negotiate. What does it do? Larger brand deals, better advertising payouts, and obviously maximum visibility, right? Going viral or pushing out products or whatnot, just having it connect to as many social media accounts as possible. And at the end of the day, I guess you do start losing control of your own image or online presence or whatnot when you're so big and you have all these teams doing everything for you. So this is the true meaning of ego economics, right? It's the real cost of influencing and chasing influence for fame. That's what it will cost you. So, lesson learned for me, got to keep it easy, got to keep it real. And no matter what my team tells me, I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm going to keep it really real. So, with that said, I hope you learned from today's, episode. I sure did. All the reading, research. Wow. Just a lot of it is super interesting that you wouldn't just know, because we're always just scrolling and you're seeing highlights like, oh, these people are bad. These people are wrong. You got to research everything. You got to really dig in to see what the truth is. And all I can say is learning about everyone else's experience really guides me and shows me which direction I want to go into and which direction I do not want to go into. And with that said, I'll always keep it real. If I ever lose track of that, please check me. That said, leave a comment, ask me any questions below, and please subscribe if you enjoyed today's episode. Go back and watch some of my other episodes as well. Thank you so much. See you on the next episode. Bye now.